Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are going to take a look at one of the most important systems, the so-called champion points system. We will also take a look at how you can make your character more powerful with it. I am Alcast from alcasthq.com. Make sure to subscribe and hit the bell for more Elder Scrolls related content. All the builds on alcasthq.com do have 300, 600 and max champion points setups if you're looking for these. And you can also find a champion points calculator on ESO skillbook.com where you can choose your class, setup, the amount of champion points you have, and then it will calculate the best setup for you. This here is the so-called champion points system. There's 9 different sections. As a new player you might be, well, I don't have that. That's because this only unlocks once you reach level 50, and you will find it here with this button. Once you're level 50 you can start gaining champion points. At the moment the maximum is 810. Even though I do have 1248, so even if you reach the maximum, you can still farm more champion points, but at the moment you can only spend 810. That's also what's confusing a lot of people, because on the add-on I use here, LUI Extended, you see my true champion points, even though I can only spend 810 here. You gain champion points by farming experience. Now you do not need the maximum amount. For most content 300 champion points is enough, and you will get them very easily, because the first 300 champion points you will need way less experience. So at the moment I do need 1 million experience for 1 champion points. At the 160 champion points you maybe need like 200 or 100,000 experience, so it's way easier to gain them at the start, and then it gets harder and harder. There is also a so-called mechanic enlightenment, which basically boosts up the amount of experience you gain for your champion points, and I think it stacks up to 12 days. So if you have not logged in for 12 days, and then you will play, you will gain champion points way faster than usual. A lot of people think that you need the max amount of champion points, but that's not true. Most content can be completed with 160 or 300 champion points already, be it trials, arenas, dungeons or PvP. Now one very important mark is 160, because that's where the max level gear is. Once you reach 160 champion points, the gear will not get stronger anymore. So that's basically, then 160 champion points you can get these so easily. When we look at the system, there's 3 parts. The blue one is very damage focused, the red one is mitigation, and the green one sustain. I am a high elf nightblade, so I'm a magicka setup, so my champion points are optimized for a magicka spec. What does that mean? So when you look here, I have a lot of points in elemental expert, or increased critical damage, could put points into spell erosion and so on. Now champion points always are different, whether you're a healer, a damage dealer or a tank. Very important. All the builds on my website have different setups. Some builds do more direct damage, whereas others do more damage over time. So you kinda need to differentiate that. All those things. So again, this here is very damage focused. Then the red one, you can mitigate so much damage through this tree. You see 24% damage mitigation through direct hits and so on. Physical, poison, disease, elemental. There's so much. Then we have the green one, which is very sustain focused, so you can get more magicka recovery, more stamina recovery, heavy attack and so on. I'm not going through all of them, but you get the idea. Now another important thing is, the more points you spend in a certain tree, you can also unlock perks. So with 10 points you get Vengeance. With 30 points spent you get 9% spell critical. That's so powerful. If you want to learn more overall, we also do have a guide on the website, link in the description below. Now another important thing. The champion system is very front loaded. What does that mean? So now I can obviously put the 100 points in here to get 15% more elemental damage. Now, when I put, let's say, 56, I already have 12%. So basically, the first 50 points are way more important than the last 50, because I barely gain anything. The first 56 points give me 12%, and the last 44 give me only 3% extra damage. That's why you see builds that always have the points distributed in different settings here, like this. Another very important thing is jump points. A lot of people don't know that. I also do have a list of the things that are affected by jump points. So when we look at this here, 11.95, you might think that you gain 11.95% damage. That's not true. That's not true. You only get 11% damage because the champion points round up or down. This here, 12%. This here, 11%. So basically I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 that are useless. So because 11.10% versus 11.95%, both give 11% because it just rounds down. This here is 12. That's why all my setups on the website are also optimized for jump points, and again we do have an article on the website. You can find all in the description, the links. Please keep in mind, not all things have jump points. For example, Shadow Ward or Tumbling, they don't have jump points, so you get the true percentage. So this here will give you 20.57%. But that's all on the article if you really want to go that deep. Before we continue, make sure to hit that juicy sub button, ring the bell, and don't forget to like the video, very much appreciated. So during my live streams on twitch.tv/alcasthq, a lot of people ask me, how long does it take to get to the max amount of champion points? That really depends on the player. Obviously, if you're an experienced veteran, you can do it in a week. If you have 12 to 15 hours a day, no problem. To give you an example, on my NA account I have 800 champion points, and from 500 champion points to 800 it took me like a week. So I grinded 4 hours every day for 7 days, and I did it during an XP event, so I got an additional 100% XP. But obviously you need to know what you're doing, and you need to increase your experience through training here and all that stuff. If you want to know how that works, I have tons of grind guides on the website and also videos which explain the whole thing. However, as a new player, I would more focus on getting familiar with all the systems rather than actually grinding your brain out, and then it will cause you to rage quit. You can find all the important links in the description, and you can also watch either one of these videos. Thanks for watching.